gonna get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets on a Labor Day Monday night, a holiday weekend. And I have my good friend Tailgate Joe in the middle of nowhere hanging out in the darkness.
That's right, bud. What's going on? JETS, buddy.
Good to see you. Well, before we get started, man, you're the only guy I know that can do an improv tailgate at a concert and make ridiculously good hamburgers. Dude, that hamburger was phenomenal.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was my Sabrosa burger. It's a take on Colombian street food, like a Colombian street burger. Yeah, really good stuff. I actually made final judges table at the New York City Wine and Food Festival Burger Bash with that burger.
Dude, we were all hanging out casually. You come up with this big-ass burger. I'm like, are you kidding me? And everybody was with you. Like, dude, this is the best burger I've ever had. And it wasn't even close. Dude. I'm like, we wanted to drink and party. So I'm like, we got to sit down and enjoy this burger first before we do anything. It was phenomenal, man.
Thank you, man. I'll be serving that at some point at one of the tailgate parties this year for sure.
So, Joe, we got Jets Steelers. The season's finally here. Jets Steelers Sunday. How do you expect this crowd? You think it's going to be a lot of Steeler fans, like maybe 30%? Or you think Jet fans are going to pack the house?
It's not going to be 30% because it's a home opener Sunday game. So I think a lot of Jet fans are going to want to go instead of, just chasing that money for those tickets. But I think there definitely will be a good Steeler presence. There always is. 30% would be pretty high at this time of year right now, week one, new coach, whole new thing. But, the Steeler fans do travel well. They're one of the better traveled teams in the league for sure.
Now, what is your level of excitement for this team right now? It's like you said, it's a new change, new regime, new coach, new quarterback. Expectations not what they've been the last 2 years. Everybody's kind of like, I don't know what to expect. Maybe 5 wins, maybe 8. What's your level of excitement for this game?
Yeah, look, the last 2 years have been tough, man. It's been a roller coaster. We came into both years last year really expecting, what is the impossible for Jet fans, right? Which is that Super Bowl win. This year, a clean slate in a lot of ways, but also some returning, bright spots for sure, with some talent that we have on that team. Can the new coach, can Aaron Glenn really kind of bring it together? Can they get enough out of Justin Fields, at this stop in his career, to bring all those other really great, strong pieces that we have to where it needs to be? Look, man, I've had this talk with you before. I'm not like the logical, realist Jet fan. I don't know why you have to be. Being a fan is short for fanatic, and fanatics are not logical or pragmatic. They're crazy, and so I'm just always going to be the eternal optimist with my team. I have some of that this year, for sure. It's all going to rest on the shoulders of really those two guys, though, that new coach and that quarterback.
Now, to me, this is a statement game for the Jets because you have Aaron Rodgers against his former team. The Jets got rid of Rodgers. And it's like, like Aaron Glenn wants to have that statement. Like, listen, we're not going to be stupid. We're going to be a physical team, ground and pound, nasty defense, good special teams. And while the Steelers are very talented, it kind of makes like a good matchup because they're probably the same way. They probably want to run the football and play good defense too. So it could be a hard-nosed physical game. Do you think there's a lot of pressure on the Jets to perform well based on this whole we're not the same old Jets mantra that they've been speaking about the last 3-4 months?
Yeah, well, I think whenever you have a regime change, there's always that pressure, right, to start strong. So, and I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. I want the team to kind of be under the gun. I want them to play with some fire because they got something to prove. A team that doesn't have anything to prove is a team that, you see get, the upset loss. And so, I'm not worried about that if that is the case. And yeah, there probably is to some degree. I think there's some good players on that team. I think there's some players that are used to, having success all through their life, and they haven't had it yet with the Jets, and there's a chip on their shoulder. And so, I'm hoping Aaron Glenn can kind of tune into that, and he can pull that out of them and pull that fire out of their bellies and really, get that going and stoke it.
No, I'm with you, dude. I think they're tired of losing. They're tired of being discounted. Nobody's giving them any kind of credit for this. Like, you know what? 5-win team, 6-win team. In terms of bulletin board material, there's got to be tons of it. And I'm sure
Sure.
that some of these guys want to beat Aaron Rodgers too. Like, you know what? You kind of let us down last year too. Like, they're all friends with him. But like, you know, things didn't work out. You kind of walked away and said a lot of things about us. You know, it's our payback time as well. It's not
Yeah.
one-sided. You know what I mean? That's a pride thing, and I hope they have a lot of it. What are your expectations for Justin Fields? Where, you know, I don't really want to assess the preseason too much because they didn't show anything. Vanilla offense, no RPOs. They only had 4 series. They didn't play a lot. But what's realistic for Justin Fields in year 1 in a new offense?
Well, look, you know, there wasn't a lot there. He didn't play a whole lot. They didn't show a lot, but they never do in preseason. But, you know, was he efficient enough? Did he make okay decisions? Did he not make any really bad decisions, right? And I think we can say that that's pretty much the case for the preseason.
Yep.
And so what does he need to be? You know, if we think back to 2009, right, when we didn't have any real expectations,
Yep.
you know, and we had Sanchez come in and, you know, he was just good enough, you know, just good enough to get us where we need to get us into those playoffs and get us into that position to succeed and let some other veterans and some talented guys run with it. Now, what they had that we haven't had yet in a while since then is that offensive line to protect him and allow that quarterback to just not get jammed up and to not make those bad decisions in haste. Do we have that this year? And, you know, the answer is I'm trending towards it's getting close to that, right? There's a lot of first and second round picks invested in that offensive line.
Yep.
Obviously, the rookie at right on the right side is going to be, he's the one that they're all going to have to pick up the slack for, I think, as he kind of finds his way.
Yep.
But there's some guys who are now veterans that have been around there for a little while, and so I think the offensive line has shown that they're going to be a good unit this year. And so as that offensive line goes, so will Fields to that level of what we need him to be. Not, you know, obviously to be a top 5 quarterback, but, you know, to maybe be a top third or top half and give the other guys, give that running game that we're all excited about a chance to shine. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Their blueprint's very obvious. You know,
Right.
Run behind that offensive line, open up play action pass, use Justin Fields' mobility. Now, what's your level of confidence with the defense? The defense has a lot of stars on it. They paid Sauce Gardner, they paid Sherwood, they paid Quentin Williams. Will McDonald's coming off a great year. Quincy Williams has got a little increase, but he's a very good player. It's not like when Joe Douglas came here, it's like, oh, we have a JV team. We got to like find all this talent. The Jets have talent on defense. They spent a lot of money on Brandon Stevens. They spent a lot of money on Cisco. So this defense, there's a lot of names, a lot of money. There should be some serious expectations for them, I think.
I think we've got the star power there. I think we've got the raw talent, and now it's just finding the identity to follow the talent. And I think that's where Aaron Glenn, I think that's the magic. I think that's the secret sauce in Glenn will be in how he instills, you know, an identity in that defense and how he, you know, what he came up with, what he was as a player for us when we drafted him, and that gritty guy that he was, and then the teams that he's, you know, been in that coaching tree that he's been under and what he's instilled elsewhere. Can he bring that here? You know, and you know, we've had some really great defensive coordinators that have come here, and I think the stage has been a little too big for them. And they didn't get that chance. The last, you know, obviously, Gase, except that was an offensive blunder. We don't want to talk about Gase. No. But, like, you know, I don't know that Bowles really did it. Saleh, you know, it doesn't look like he really did it either. But I think this is where Aaron Glenn can really make a stamp on the team with his experience, where he comes from.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, for a long time, we want the Jets to be the identity team with that defense that's nasty, physical, week in and week out. Like the Steelers. The Steelers are exactly what you want the Jets to be. That team where every week you know you play them, when you leave, you're like, damn, they're tough. Like, you know, like they may be, you know, a 6-win team or a 10-win team, but you're gonna get your ass beat all day long. And you know you gotta be at your best to beat them. I want the Jets, I want Aaron Glenn to bring that back to the Jet defense, dude. Be physical, be nasty, be tough, be a hard out every week. Like, don't be these pushovers, don't come out like zombies, don't be sloppy, dumb, you know, poor tackling and dumb penalties, all this other shit, create turnovers. And that's not really a hard, like with the talent they have, it shouldn't be that hard to do. We're not asking for a lot at this point.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely. You know, the team, look, I think the team, you know, without Fields, I think the team's good enough, you know, to stumble into, 5 or 6 wins on their own, right? And so the difference the difference between 5 and 6 and like 9, or 10 will I think is going to end up coming down to Fields when it's all said and done.
Completely agree. No, I
Yeah.
completely agree. So overall, if you look at the season and the team, like we do this every year, like preseason predictions like that. But like, what's a realistic expectation for this team with all these new pieces? So in terms of wins, is it like maybe six is where you're at, but if they get lucky, they can get to 8 or 9? Or are you thinking like 8's kind of expected? Like, what's your expectation?
Yeah, like I said, I think that they can stumble into 5 or 6 wins regardless of Fields. So I'm gonna see 8 and 8, 8 and no, not, we're at 17 games now. So I'm gonna say 9 and 8. I'm gonna go optimistic on Fields.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, your sound
It's
went
a
down.
lot. I know that.
Would your car go down? Your car went on?
No, there we go. Yeah, it switched over on me. My bad.
You're good. All right. So we have maybe
Yeah.
9 and 8, whatever else is cool. So the cool
Yeah.
thing about Jet games, and for the most part, my favorite part of the game over the last probably decade is the tailgate, because the tailgate is always better than the game because you're never disappointed, especially at your tailgate, dude. And I'll tell you, dude, like I don't bullshit anybody. When it comes to like tailgating, I'm never gonna lie, dude. Your food is ridiculously good. The spread is really good. It's a very friendly environment, family-oriented environment. No chaos, no bullshit, no other stuff. It's just a really, really good time. Give us your details for Sunday, dude. I'm telling you, dude, if you're a Jet fan and you don't want, the best thing about it too is like you don't have to worry about bringing anything. Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to pack your grill, you don't have to bring the beer. Just show up, eat, drink, go inside the game.
I really, Tyson, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. When people come and I see that the enjoyment they're getting, when someone bites into that burger and that smile they get on their face, and this is I'm not one of these hokey kind of people, but I really believe this. When someone takes a bite of something that's been cooked with that love, right? That ingredient, it translates. It kind of, that's the smile you get on your face.
Yeah.
That's the love that's in that food, and that's what I put into things. And I really enjoy seeing people enjoy it. I've been doing Tailgate Joe since 2009. We were just, for 10 years leading up to that, we were just a bunch of guys hanging out in the lot, cooking and having a great time. And I realized, 10 years in, this is something people would want to dig, people want to be a part of. They can't do it themselves, don't want to do it themselves. They just want to kind of show up. It's a good way to make friends, network, have a great time. So in 2009, I started, I put the website out there for the Game Day Fan Club for anyone to join us. And I'm really blessed that this like little hobby and fun thing that I do has turned into something that it has. And, for hundreds of people on game day, thousands a year, thousands of people in a year, to go and choose to spend their day with me before they go in a stadium, a day that they are going to do something that they love, to be around a team that they care about, something they have a passion for, and for me to be a part of that and my family to be a part of that. Because as you know, when you go there to check in, it's my father checking you in. If you're on the food line, it's my mother there yapping at you. My brothers, my sisters, my nephews, my niece, they're all a part of it. It's a huge family thing. It always is. So, there's a lot of pride in that, in what I do and what I created there. So to hear, when you talk about it the way you do, I really appreciate it.
No,
As for this week,
yep.
first,
real quick, to answer Curtis's question, you're at every home game. You do every tailgate for every home game.
every home game since 2009. Every one. We also do some away games, and we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, so week one, we have a few like traditions, right? Which I really enjoy. At this point, when you've been doing it since 2009, like traditions become a real thing at this point. We're not talking about 2 or 3 year tradition. Week one, the home opener is always going to be a Mexican tailgate. And that, the roots, I'm not going to lie, those roots go back to our first year, 2009, with rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez.
Okay.
And so, we've just kind of carried that tradition on. So a lot of great stuff. It's going to be, the burger is fantastic. It's going to be a Hatch, New Mexico green chili cheeseburger.
Oh, wow.
There's going to be a taco bar with, beef, chicken, chorizo. Honestly, I feel like I make the best chicken taco. The chicken taco on a menu is usually bullshit. I make a fantastic version of it. And so there's going to be a few things on the menu. It's going to be great. My mom will always be stuffing cannolis at the end of the day. Yingling is a partner of ours, so there'll be Yingling for anyone that wants it in the lot. There'll be we'll be giving out we'll be doing a ranch water as well, which is like a Tex-Mex kind of a cocktail. But it's just a great time. We have a DJ, Vinny Goods, is the best DJ in the lot. Cornhole, beer pong, the whole deal. It's just a great atmosphere. A lot of cool people. It's not like a jerk mentality type place. We're welcoming to visiting fans. You can come at any game and you can meet fans from like the opposing team or even other fans from
Yeah.
around the league who are friends of mine who come in a given week and have great conversations, meet some new people, and just have a great time.
No, bro, I vouch for you. I've been to God knows how many tailgates now. A couple
Yeah.
last year. It's just, and every year it's just like it's amazing. And people are just so cool, like playing beer pong, playing cornhole, having some beers, talking, doing jet chants. And the cool thing is too, you also do road trips, and this one's going to be huge, dude, because especially early in the season, the Jets are still relevant. The season's not over
Yeah.
yet, so you can make sure you can go out, and it's also a great game. Jets Buccaneers. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
man.
it.
So yeah, road games have been a part of Tailgate Joe DNA from the beginning because I enjoy traveling. It's my other passion in life. Football, cooking, and travel are like three of the big things in my life, and like that's a way for me to incorporate all three. Back in 2009, the first year, we did some away games. We even did Cincinnati in the playoffs away. Tailgate Joe, I started it because there was no such thing as a Tailgate Joe. And so just kind of carrying that tradition on. This year, the big one. I mean, there's always like one big one. Last year was Nashville. We had a few hundred people. We rented out a whole club in Nashville. This year is going to be fantastic. It's going to be Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers. A lot of great things going on for this and why this is going to be an amazing game, an amazing weekend. First of all, it's the beginning of the season. We always have that hope. Things have not come falling down on us yet by week 3. There's that hope no matter what week 1 and 2. So there's that. Florida. Florida is always a great destination to go to. It really is. There's a lot to do. The hotels are pretty cheap. The flights are pretty cheap. Tampa is a great location, lots to do. We're gonna take advantage of that. The Buccaneers, an exciting team. Baker Mayfield has really turned it around there. If you haven't, I've been to a bunch of games down there the last few years. It's an exciting team to go and watch. Their fan base, super passionate, really cool people. The stadium, it's awesome.
Really nice.
There's a pirate ship in the end zone firing off a cannon. How cool is that?
Yep.
It's a really great game day experience. But the number one thing, look, I feel like I do a pretty good party. I've been doing it for a long time. I feel like it's one of the best in the NFL. I truly feel that way. But I will say the best party in the NFL, if it's not mine, okay, and this is a big deal for me to say this, but if you know me, but if it's not mine, it is definitely What the Buck. What the Buck is the party in Tampa. They have a private lot that is directly in front of the stadium. It's closer than their own parking lots.
Wow.
Great theming every week. This is going to be their Bucktoberfest party. They have an amazing DJ and MC. They do things. So Florida, it's like a really fun kind of cruise ship atmosphere. They've got MC. They got a lot of things going on entertainment wise. The theming is incredible. It's decorated really great. My friend's Cheryl Spent is her nickname. Is awesome at that. The food is fantastic. It is catered by legit the barbecue in Florida is a wasteland. Okay,
Right.
Florida is not the South. Their barbecue is just not good in general. Wicked Oak Barbecue in Tampa is probably the best barbecue in all of Tampa. So the guy that owns that, it's not only catered by them, he's a member of the What the Buck crew. So the food is awesome. Yingling again will be there. Also, she's got a ton of other. She's got uh, all types of vodka, liquor, rum, sponsors, wine sponsors that are all handing out delicious cocktails and drinks. And it's all part of it. It's like $50 a head. And
What,
you get all of that. There's no
what
cash
time does
bar.
this?
There's
What time does it
nothing.
start?
Like about 4 hours before kickoff.
Oh,
You know,
perfect.
something like that. Yeah, it's great. Go there. There'll be parking right next to the tailgate, like in the lot. Like there's a lot like right next to it, abutting it. So there's plenty of like off-site parking that you can park there. And when I say off-site, it's not like MetLife. Like you're literally in front of the stadium.
Right.
Like it's where you want to be. You don't want to park in the stadium parking lot. You really don't. And it's just is going to be the party. There's going to be tons of Jet fans. There's even going to be a lot of my friends that are super fans from around the league that are going to be flying into Tampa for this game because this is going to be the party of the year, like in the NFL. Like you're going to want to come to this party. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. And it's reasonable at $50 a head. Like I've seen some other parties getting thrown up and a lot more, and then cash bars and all that stuff. And the cool thing, the kicker to all this. It's a genuine, bona fide 501c3 charity, and this group does amazing things in the community. I mean, I'm talking about reopening community ballparks that were closed during and after COVID, uh, doing things with cancer charities, with homeless charities, with all types of things, being recognized by the team for their charitable endeavors, which is an amazing thing. A really cool, it's just a really cool party for a real good reason with really good people.
And that's the best way to do it because I go to a lot of road games too, man. It's the best thing. It's like trying to find a tailgate. Like, oh, no, we got to go buy beer. We go buy food. Like, this is $50, dude. Just show up, have a good time, go inside the stadium. You don't have to worry about anything, dude. And that's the best way to do it.
Here is the thing, man. You know, and you know, you could go and do, you know, some kind of like tour thing where it's like for Jet fans, and they'll be like just Jet fans in this group and whatever, and this party. Okay. But I'm telling you, so a few years ago, I was lucky enough to be drafted into some super fan organizations, like national organizations, charitable organizations, where I started to meet all of these fans from around the league and different teams. And it brought my enjoyment, my fandom enjoyment to a whole other level. So, you know, this party will be 110% visiting fan friendly for Jet fans. There's going to be a ton of Jet fans there. You know, I was just messaging, you know, Fireman Ed. You know, he's going to be stopping by. I want everyone else. You know, I haven't spoken to Jetman yet and the other guys, but they're all welcome to join us. I want everyone to come join us. It's going to be a fantastic time. Get to meet some other fans out there. Dude, come and like be a part of some local flavor, some local fandom flavor, because the way people tailgate and the way people party is different all around the league. And this party is so Tampa. You know, in addition to that, we're going to do a meetup in Ybor City the night before. That information will come out this week. So yeah, everyone's going to want to come to that. It'll be free, no charge, stuff like that. Just to have a great weekend in Tampa. It's just going to be a fantastic weekend. This is the one you want to go to. You know, we're going to be doing things in Cincinnati and stuff too. They're going to be fantastic. I got another friend. There's a fantastic party out there that we're going to be a part of. But
so where is
Tampa's the first one?
Pigskin's asking, where is this party tailgate in Tampa? Or how can I get more information on it?
Okay, so if you go to tailgatejoe.com to the season info, there's a link. There'll be a link you'll see there. There'll be a link to that page to go and sign up. If you go on my Instagram and you go and click on the link tree on my Instagram bio, there'll be a link there as well, I believe, for the Tampa party, and you can sign up and reserve your spot. You know, right from that link. It'll go to the What the Buck site, whatever. Like I'm not handling any of that. It's all them.
So you got Curtis coming. He said, "See you in Tampa." See, Curtis is already going.
Right on, my dude.
Well, Joe, first of all, thank you so much for joining me, man. Definitely appreciate it. TailgateJoe.com for Sunday, Jets Steelers, which is going to be an awesome tailgate on the road. But for every game, I'm telling you, dude, I won't lie to people. We've been friends a long time, dude.
Yeah.
I just hung out with you last week, for Christ's sakes. And it's like the food is always good. It's a genuine good time. No bullshit, no drama, lots of laughs, lots of fun. And again, cornhole, beer pong, drink, have fun, and go outside the stadium. So, dude, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you coming on. And I'm sure I may see you Sunday. You never know.
I hope so, my dude. You know where to come join us.
That's sir. Have a good night, man.
Later, buddy.
Later, dude. Yo, Bubs.
How's it going?
You ready for Jets Steelers on Sunday?
Yes, I am. Might have to go to Tampa after hearing about that.
He's a good sales pitch, right?
Yeah. That's it seems like a pretty good time. But thanks for having me on again.
Bro, good. Long time no talk. Yes, for everybody asking, I couldn't do videos for a couple of days last week because I had no voice left after the concert. So it was absolutely incredible. And let's see, we got what's up, V man? What's up? Thank you guys for all joining us. Thank you for everybody watching the videos too, man. I've been cranking out videos, doing all kinds of streams coming up tomorrow night with Ian, Sunday, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned for all that. Bubs, before we go into the game, the roster composition, we had the player to cut down to 53, the practice squad. And to me, not being negative, just being observing, the roster composition on offense is a little bit weird. I think they went 5 receivers, 4 tight ends. Yeah. And it's like, all right. And Tyler Johnson's actually on the practice squad, which is kind of weird. Are you surprised by any of this? It kind of goes against everything I thought they were going to do.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Out of Skinner, Brandon Smith, and Jamal Pritchett, I thought for sure one of them was going to make the team. One of those preseason or summer standouts. What really kind of threw a wrench into it, though, was, at least from my prediction, I thought they would short-term IR Lazard, which would open up a door for Pritchett. I thought was just better than Gibson. He should have made this team over Gibson, punt returner, and then, as your essentially your 5th, 6th receiver. And then that final spot that Lazard would occupy would go to either Skinner or Brandon Smith. I thought it would be Brandon Smith, but none of them making the team, and then Lazard making the team, and then them releasing Tyler Johnson was certainly surprising. The Tyler Johnson news is really surprising, but not having him subject to waivers, you could just get him right back, kind of the roster gymnastics type stuff. So I think he'll be active week 1. But yeah, the 5 receivers, the way they did it, not putting, with Lazard being healthy, not having him on IR, holding up that spot. It's certainly a little questionable when it came out, but they got all 3 of those guys in the practice squad. So it's just one activation away from having them on the team. I guess the big thing would be Pritchett. I do think at some point he will emerge over Gibson, unless if they felt that Gibson was going to get claimed. But yeah, I like Pritchett over Gibson. The other guys I think could file in on game day if they have him active. Yeah,
and they seem ridiculously loyal to Jeremy Ruckert right now, which is interesting too. I thought Ruckert would be gone. That was kind of like a surprise. On defense, it's like I like Jarius Monroe, but he was actually hurt. It's like, all right, like defense, like I guess I have more faith on the defensive side based on Steve Wilkes' background, great experienced defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn's a defensive-minded coach. So like on defense, I kind of trust them. On offense is where I kind of focused most, where I'm like, I just don't want to see Justin Fields running for his life or dropping back to pass, nobody being open, which is the concern. But we haven't seen what Josh Reynolds is. We haven't seen what this offense is. Offense could be a whole other animal we've never even seen before. So I guess we kind of go with it. What is your overall feeling on this team going into the season? For me, I think like a lot of people are saying it's a rebuilding season, which is true because there's a lot of new pieces, coaching staff, front office, quarterback, but they also have a lot of talent, dude. It's not like they're like Joe Douglas's biggest thing is, I'm inheriting a JV team. Well, they're not. They're literally getting Pro Bowl talent on both sides of the ball. Literally. You have, between Sauce, Garrett, Quincy Williams, plenty of guys all over the place. AVT could be good. There's a lot of things there. So it's not like this is a bad team. I think if anything, they just lack depth. Behind Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, a lot of unproven guys. The injury to Weaver's a big blow. Coward's been hurt. Like things like that. I think it's the depth, if anything, bothers me. But this team should be competitive, man.
Yeah, they should be. And I'll just say one thing about the tight end position quickly, because I know you brought it up with Ruckert. Definitely some adjusting before game day, because they're not going to hold the 4 tight ends plus a fullback with the Jelani Woods addition on game day, and then Beck slotting at fullback. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, you like a lot of some of the top end talent, but there's certainly some questions around the depth. I really like the 2 additions they made at the defensive line, bringing in Briggs and Harrison Phillips. Phillips slots right in next to Quinnen as that run stuffer number 2 defensive tackle, and they were able to get something for Derek Nottie, which was a really good job by Muji considering he was going to be cut. So the fact they were able to flip some late round picks for him was a good move, knowing that they didn't have a role for him here. Yeah, I look at this season and you hope they're more well coached, prepared going into these games, find an identity, be physical, be competitive. A lot of the players have talked about physicality. They had that physical training camp. That's something that I want to see, just not even factoring into the record prediction and all that and the talent. Just have an identity, be physical, be nasty, be better against the run, be really good from a run blocking perspective, run the ball really well, truly have that Aaron Glenn, really have what he's talked all about this offseason coming in as the Jets coach, going back to January. Let's see that on game day. And I think you look at the offense, and I've said this a lot. I think you're probably looking at this offense as a top 10 rushing offense, hopefully, probably somewhere in the 20s from a passing perspective. Can you be a middle of the pack overall offense when you factor in really good rushing, maybe some struggles from a passing perspective, but can you be in the 15 to 17 range overall where you're middle of the pack average? Can you get this defense being back to a top 12 to top 10 unit? And in the special teams, you hope can take a jump. And if you can close the gap from the defensive perspective, get back to being improved, playing well with leads, which they didn't do last year. If they have leads this year, play well there. You know, they're going to blitz a lot more, get home to the quarterback a lot more, all that stuff, force more turnovers. And then from a special teams perspective, be improved there as well, both kicking, but also punt, you know, special teams coverage, all that stuff. Can you be top 12 there? Close the gaps, have that average offense. That's where your path to winning, your path to success is going to come from for this team this season. A lot of those low scoring games, grinding it out, being physical and winning that
turnovers. Yeah,
exactly.
Now, to me, this is not a hot take. It's just my honest opinion. If you ask me this, I was asked this question at a party on Friday. I said the same answer. To me, Sunday is a statement game for Aaron Glenn. It is. They've talked about changing the culture, being more physical, cutting down penalties, playing with pride, playing with passion. You do that in your season opener and your home opener against Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who you know are to come in physical, fast. You know what their style is. You know what their standard is. You need to match that standard. You've had the entire offseason to prepare for them, the entire training camp. You know who your opponent is. You can game plan. You can scheme for them. You've got to match their intensity. You got to match their physicality, and you got to be prepared. Anything less than that is unacceptable for me. I understand it's a first-time head coach, first time, all this other shit. I understand it. You can't talk to me about setting a standard and then playing below standard at home in your first game. This team should be chomping at the bit. They should be ready to go. As much as Aaron Rodgers has the chip on his shoulder, Aaron Glenn, this team should have one too, because you know what? You fucking suck for the last decade here. This team, the players in that locker room that have been here have to be tired of losing. They have to be tired of losing, tired of being mediocre, tired of being discounted by the media. The media be like, look at us. We're saying, maybe 6 wins, maybe 5 wins. They have to be just chomping the bit to prove everybody wrong, and it starts Sunday. It has to start Sunday. I don't want to see no bullshit on Sunday. Not, the first quarter, they come out slow, they look lost, penalties over the place, sloppy. No, dude. Set your tone on Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, how many times under Robert Saleh did they come out slow, get beat early on, get dominated in the run game? We saw that last year right away against San Francisco. They got destroyed by the backup Jordan Mason.
Yep.
You got to come out on Sunday in front of your home crowd against Pittsburgh, make a statement, really show that the culture is changing, really show that Aaron Glenn has made his mark so far on this team throughout the summer, and it's showing signs of translating or projecting into the season. Yeah, it's big for Glenn. I mean, we even heard all about how the meeting went with him and Rodgers. And as much as they play it down, this is a locker room that just went through 2 years of disaster with Rodgers. As much as some of them have close relationships with them, once kickoff happens, he's on the other side. You want to get after him. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, you want to see those guys get after him. I'd love to see them blitz the heck out of him. Rodgers is notoriously known for struggling week 1. You hope this defense can get after him. But, I mean, you just look at the way the schedule plays out. It's such a big game because the last thing you want is to lose against Pittsburgh, have Rodgers have a huge game, and then have Buffalo waiting a week later.
Yep.
And then you lose that game, you're 0-2. Not only did you just drop 2 games, but you dropped 2 games at home. You got to take advantage and win at home. And then you got to go on the road in Tampa and play a playoff team and then play Miami on Monday night. And I understand Miami's had some struggles. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but still, divisional opponent prime time on the road is still a tough matchup. All of a sudden, right away, season looks like it's spiraling before we even
100%.
get to the end of September. And we've seen that so many times over the last couple of years. For Glenn, it's so important just with this culture. The number one thing that changes cultures is winning and being competitive. You go out there and win week 1. Even if you lose week 2, if you split at home, you put yourself in a position, okay, split the next 2 road games, get yourself to 2-2. You come back home against Dallas, you're still in the mix, as opposed to losing Pittsburgh, losing a divisional game against Buffalo. Now all of a sudden the guys in the locker room are like, okay, everything we went through this summer, everything we went through throughout the offseason, it's the same results. You're not going to get that buy-in. So Yeah, they got to win it. It's a big game, and it's a very winnable game. It's a very winnable game.
I'm
Pittsburgh's not a dangerous team. We watched Rodgers last year. He's not the 35-year-old that he was, a little bit ago. He's 40, over 40 now. They can get after him. There's a clear path to victory.
Oh, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I expect a very, very competitive football game. Now, if they lose 21-20, you're disappointed, but they have to come out with a strong showing, dude. Like, you want to see them come out flying around, flying at the football. Very physical on defense, very physical on offense. Run the football. Like, you know what the Steelers want to do? You know what the Jets want to do? Do it. Like, match everything all across the board. And there's matchups that, like, their defense is going to be nasty. And that's on Tanner Engstrand to make sure if Membu needs help, get help. And that's the other thing you're looking at. Like, can this staff make adjustments, dude? Like, there's so many different things that I'm so fascinated to watch because it's things that we haven't seen in the past. Like, with Salah, we knew the scorecard of all things that were going to go wrong. Like, bad clock management, bad game management, no adjustments, more excuses, all this shit, bad tackling, penalties, all this other things. You want to see how they come out in a game that's going to get a lot of exposure because, Rodgers coming back against the Jets, there's going to be a story all over the place. And I think the last thing you want is at 5 o'clock on Sunday, we're sitting here like, I can't believe that just happened. Because you know who's waiting for that? The media and the half of the fan base that's been saying, I told you so. We should never got rid of Rodgers. You win this game, dude, everybody backs off. I'm not saying you accomplished anything. It's 1 of 17. I get it. But that's a tone setter. We're like, all right, this guy's got something going on here. Like, they're prepared. They played well. They can build off this. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to do that than what you said. That's my ultimate fear is that they lose on Sunday. Then here comes the Bills. Okay. 0-2. And then now we're sitting here like, what, how this goes, man. We've seen this story before. But that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, totally. It's the same old Jets creeps into your mind. You're 0-2, middle of September. You get into, Tampa, and you have 2 road games back to back against Tampa, Miami, and then, you're 1-3. You lose to Dallas. You're 1-4. It's over. And I do just too. I mean, a little bit from Glenn's perspective too, to have that little bit of prove you're right with the Rodgers stuff, beating him week 1. The last thing you want is him go out there, throw 4 touchdowns and completely dice you up and then lose to Buffalo. And it's a bad taste either way. We've all been through it before.
And the other thing too is as much as there's pressure on Glenn's team as a whole to come up and show up and put up a good big time performance, it's Justin Fields too, man, because Justin Fields is a guy that has to have a chip on his shoulder. This could be his last chance to be a starting quarterback of a team that's completely bought into him and trying to build around him. He's got to come out and kind of silence some of his critics too. Be like, listen, what you saw in the preseason doesn't mean jack shit. What you saw in Pittsburgh is not what I am. This is how, no, this offense is me. And again, he can throw the ball maybe 17, 18, 20 times, complete 13 of them, and just manage a game, make 2 or 3 big time throws and run the ball, and they can win games like that. He's not to be a superstar. It's just run, manage the game, no dumb turnovers, make a couple nice throws, stretch the field more importantly. Don't be like this think and dunk kind of guy. And I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree. And this is, too, another big opportunity for Fields. As much as we talk about Rodgers' revenge, it's an opportunity for Fields to prove back to Pittsburgh as well, who let him go and, of course, benched him halfway through the year after, going 4-2 for us in 6 starts. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of the read options. Fields is a tough quarterback to gauge in preseason and practice because a lot of what he does well, they're not going to do in practice. They're not going to run him a ton in practice. And in a preseason game, they're not going to have him running much because you don't want to get him hurt. So you're going to see a lot more of those read options, a lot more of those design quarterback runs for him. This is a Steelers defense that corners wise, a little bit older. They lack a little bit of speed. You talk about over the top, getting the deep ball involved, stretching the field. This is a team you can do it against. Garrett Wilson's had a ton of success against Jalen Ramsey the last couple of years from him being in the division with Miami. So they have an opportunity there. We'll see if Arian Smith's used much as well, kind of in that vertical package, vertical threat. But yeah, Fields utilize the legs, don't make mistakes, high completion percentage, make the passes you need to make, don't miss the easy ones. Have, ultimately run game open up the pass, which is the biggest thing. And that's your path to success from the offense and for Fields himself as well. All
right, we're going to bring on Luca. Luca, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Hope all is well to both you and Bubs.
Are you ready for Jets Steelers on Sunday?
I'm counting down the days. I'm checking the TV guide every day here to see if they're going to air the Jets game on here in Tennessee. But if not, I'll obviously turn it on and turn on a VPN on my computer and watch it anyway. So I'm excited. I can't lie, but there is some cautious optimism. Tyson, you had a great video earlier In terms of like the expectations, you said it perfectly when it came to, you said that the Aaron Glenn and Muji are raising a higher standard. You obviously want to come out and play like it. Like people, obviously, there's mixed expectations among the fan base. 6 to 7 wins, they might win 4 to 3, 3-4 games. But in today's NFL, and I think it's also what Jet fans are tired of realistically, no more 3-year plans, no more 5-year plans. I'm not saying the Jets are going to be a playoff team this year. Could they be? Obviously, but a lot of things would have to go right their way.
Yep.
Next year, obviously, we'll see what happens. Depends on this year. But I think us fans got to have like a higher standard. And yes, some people want to tank next year for the quarterback and all these different things. But at the end of the day, I want to see a high standard being set by the coaching staff. I want a high standard being set by the players. And if the Jets win week 1, how do they respond? How do the players respond? Do they say, you know what, we're all high and mighty? Or like, no, we're very level-headed. Let's go into week 2. Let's see what the Bills are about. We're going to stay grounded. And that's the problem with Salah's teams. When they won, remember, they beat the Patriots week 3 last year. They were 2-1. Jets fans were obviously happy and all, but the players were happy and all. And eventually they would lose to Bo Nix, who threw for like 60 passing yards, I think it was. It was so bad, and obviously the season went down from there. So it's moments of adversity, it's moments of success that I like to see this Jets team under in terms of the mental test for the players and for the coaching staff too. Like if Aaron Glenn's going to talk about a high standard and holding people accountable, that message has to get in sync with the players and penetrate. And also you have to show wins with it. You don't want to be like someone like a Joe Judge who talks all this, tough guy nonsense, and none of the results are coming out. Because that's easy for players to ultimately tune you out. That's the issue. So I think you're setting up a great precedent, Tyson. We need to raise the standard because we've been through so many rebuilds, and through today's NFL, rebuilds are like very quick. You could turn around your team in like one season.
Especially like this is a game that you know your opponent for the entire offseason. You're playing Aaron Rodgers. You're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what they bring to the table. You have a good idea what their offense is going to be with DK Metcalf running the ball, their defense. You got to match their intensity, match their physicality, and be prepared. And don't beat yourself. That's what the Jets have done for years, is beating themselves, just handing games away. And like I want to see them come out flying and physical, dude. Like this is what the expectation should be. And then now it's up to them to bring it to the table. Like I'm excited, dude. Like there's so many storylines. I mean, if there's one game I want to win out of the first 3, it's this one. I just want to beat up Aaron Rodgers. Just quiet the noise, quiet the media, get rid of all that shit, right? And be like, all right, now we can that elephant's out of the room, and now we can move on. If they lose, can you imagine if they lost this game? What the aftermath would be? Fan base would be pissed off. Media's gonna be ripped to shreds. Aaron Glenn's gonna get questioned for no freaking reason whatsoever. It'd be a complete disaster.
That's why you start strong, and going back to the other coaches like Salah and Gase, like just start off like as much as I talked about recently how if the Jets win week 1 they should stay level-headed for week 2, but start off week 1 with like an action, as you said, Tyson, a strong approach, mentally tough. You're going to play punch in your mouth football, all these different things. Show the Steelers why they should be afraid of you. Have that killer instinct. And it sucks because the Jets aren't exactly going to have a home crowd behind them. No. They're going to have half Steeler fans. And I'm not trying to darken the mood. Apparently, a couple of days ago, my friend texted me this link. Apparently, Wiz Khalifa is going to be playing black and yellow at halftime at MetLife Stadium.
That can't be true.
Really? Wait, on Sunday?
That cannot be true.
On Sunday.
That cannot be true. That cannot be true. If that is true, I swear to God, I will. That can't be true.
My friend texted me. I have so many questions. I'm like, I obviously have to see it elsewhere. I saw the link he sent me. I'm like, that's like telling your fan base, without telling. That's basically terrible. Saying,
bro,
we don't have a home field advantage. That just can't be true.
There's no way that
you have a home field. Don't have a home field advantage without having a home field advantage.
I can't do it. I cannot come. I
don't want to see that.
No, I'm assuming that's going to be just a
I hope it's false. But
it's got to be false. There's no way the Jets are that stupid, dude.
I didn't pay $150 to watch Wiz Khalifa at halftime.
So now, I'll start with you, Bubs. What are your expectations for Justin Fields on Sunday? Because to me, it's like we didn't see a lot in the preseason, which is fine with me. But this is his kind of revenge game too. Everybody wants to talk about Aaron Rodgers coming back and beating his former team. The Steelers literally quit on Justin Fields. They gave up on him in favor of Russell Wilson. You got to figure, as much as he's playing it off, being like, I don't really care, it's just one game. Yeah. It's not one game. He wants to set the tone for himself, get back at them, and get off to a good start as well. So what are your expectations for him?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot to open up. I think it's gonna be a lot of running the football, open up the pass game. You're gonna see a lot of the read options. Probably a couple short, quick passes to get him going early on. But like I said earlier, this is a secondary that does have vulnerability when it comes to over the top and taking the top. Their safeties are solid, but from Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay, both those guys have lost a step. I mentioned it. Garrett Wilson has had a lot of success.
By the way, did they lose? They did obviously in the Ramsey trade and the Jonnu Smith trade. They also lost Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary, so that's a big thing.
Yep, it's a big one.
Yeah, they did. It goes back to Miami, but that's a good point. And yeah, I mean, Garrett's obviously had a lot of success against Ramsey, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities there from a pass game perspective for Fields to get involved and have some success early on. Mason Taylor, I think, is going to play a role. We've talked about it a lot. I think target share is going to be Garrett, Mason Taylor, Brees, and then Reynolds essentially as your wide receiver too.
Yep.
I'm very intrigued on how they use Arian Smith early in the season specifically. He's had a very good camp. Do they still kind of ease him into it early in the year and have certain packages, or is he somebody that really can emerge into a bigger role? But yeah, I just think you look at a lot of the read options, running the football a lot early on, a couple short, quick passes. And then once you get him involved, then you start to take some of those chances. And that's where, from a pass game perspective, he's got to take that next step.
Yep.
And you look at what he did in the 6 games last year with Pittsburgh. If he does that across a whole 7-team, mistake-free football, play smart, play competent, that's where you're going to be able to win games if your rushing offense is as good as it should be.
Yeah, but don't you think
this offensive line?
I agree with everything you said, but Luca, don't you kind of think that the Jets could do the opposite, saying the Steelers are going to be like, you know what, we're going to sell it to stop the run. We're going to stop the run, make the team one-dimensional, and let Justin Fields beat us. Do the Jets come out and say, no, we're going to pass to set up the run, do that Brees out of the backfield, Mason Taylor, all make quick slants, stuff like that, to kind of get the defensive front kind of backed off a little bit and then try to run the ball? Like, how did the Jets come out, do you think? I mean, and I'd take a shot downfield to Aaron Smith, too. I wouldn't be scared to throw the football at all. But I think they may have to do that. Like, what do you think, Luca?
I think the Jets have the speed to beat the Steelers deep. I know Bugs was talking about the vulnerability in the Steelers secondary. I think they're going to try to obviously set up the run, but if they see a front early on and the coaching staff, if they're able to make adjustments, like, hey, you know what, Justin, we're going to let you air it out a few times. And I said this like a couple times before, like, the Jets' run game is so contingent on if Justin Fields can, A, make the easy passes and take what defense gives him, and B, if he can air it out at least once in a while. He doesn't have to throw like 40 yards every pass. That's obviously not realistic. It's not going to happen. If he can take what the defense gives him and air it out vertically, like somewhat consistently, then you get the defense to back off. Then you'll have a true ground and pound running game. And obviously, it depends on the offensive line. Like, we're hyping up this offensive line. People say top 10, top 12, whatever. It's about how well these guys are coached. And we hope these guys are coached well, obviously. So,
and I think, and to your point, I think they have to make adjustments too. If Membu struggles, give him help. Like, I think the last staff, while they were incompetent, they were also arrogant, not making adjustments. Like, nope, they're going to handle it. No, figure it out on the fly. Don't wait till the third quarter. Try to fix it in the first half. And that's something I'm watching. Now, Bubs, on defense, it gets interesting because you want to be physical. You want to stop the run. You want to get after Aaron Rodgers. Jermaine Johnson's first game back. I'm not sure how much they're going to play him. I don't think he's going to get 40 snaps. Maybe it's 20. Maybe who knows? But you have him. You have Will McDonald. But I think the key is going to be like, can this Jets defensive line, dominate the line of scrimmage? Can Quinn Williams be, disruptive? Can Harrison Phillips be disruptive to get Rodgers and beat him up? He's not mobile. He can dance around, but smack him around, get him uncomfortable, get those throws. We saw last year, he just throws it up for a prayer to DK Metcalf. That's what I'm kind of hoping. But can they do that?
I think you blitz the heck out of him. And if you look back to what Glenn had a couple times he had success with him in Detroit, he played a ton of man against him and he blitzed a ton against Rodgers, and he had success both those times. I think this is a team. Look, Rodgers missed all the offseason in terms of the spring stuff. He came on in camp. Him and Arthur Smith, they're still it's a new offense. Rodgers, notoriously slower starter when it comes to, week one, especially obviously last year, the Jets, of course, lost, but it's a new offense, new pieces. The receiver core they have is still kind of questionable behind DK Metcalf. I think you blitz. He's not as mobile as he once was. I was thinking earlier today, I was talking to somebody, why not send a cornerback blitz like they did with Sauce on Teddy Bridgewater a couple years ago? Why not do that play number one? Like, send the house, send it to him. Like, he's not mobile. There's going to be some rust there. I think that's what you do. And I think the Jets defense is going to do a lot of that this year, but especially with Jermaine Johnson easing him back into it in order to get pressure while he kind of gets back into the groove, because you're not just going to get pressure with just those four if Jermaine's not out there all the time. Send the linebackers, Quincy, Sherwood, both those guys I think are going to have
Carter
bigger years.
second, send him too.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Carter, Stevens, Sauce, even a safety. We've seen them do that in camp. So blitz. And I think you should expect to see a decent amount of man as well. He had success with that. And that's something Glenn does a lot of, although Wilkes sometimes can tend to play a little bit more zone, but I think
they're playing man, dude. They love the way Stevens plays man. I think they'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Luca? What's your approach on defense?
I actually want to take it back to the offense for a second. We briefly discussed Arian Smith, and because I spoke at length about the Jets' lack of receivers, I think the last time I was on, and I don't want Arian Smith to be the victim of like very high expectations, if you know what I'm saying. Because imagine there's a scenario where he's thrust in as the second wide receiver next to Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 2, and he's a 6th-round pick. And if Arian Smith, what happens if Arian Smith doesn't succeed immediately? That's one of my qualms about the offense. But moving back to the defense, I think they're going to stay aggressive. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers not mobile as he used to be. As Bub said, throw blitz. I would throw a blitz on the first play. Set the tone.
Yep, me too.
Aggressive defensively. Throw a safety blitz here and there. Like, again, this staff is going to be much – the defensive coaching and the play calling is going to be much more aggressive. And it's not like they don't have the corners to do it. Like, Stevens, the biggest problem with him is his ball skills. And I don't think you'll have to worry about ball skills if the ball's not even coming out of the quarterback's hands.
Exactly.
So you have Stevens. Sauce, obviously, I think he's going to have a bounce-back year.
Yep.
Michael Carter, we know what he can do in the nickel. Safeties, obviously, is TBD, although I like Malachi more, honestly, more than Tony Adams. But – I think the defense is going to come out aggressive. And Bub said without DK Metcalf, what is the wide receiver room? It's very unproven for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like Calvin Austin, he's more of a special teamer. Roman Wilson barely got touches.
It's going to be the tight ends, man. It's going to be John Smith and Freiermuth.
Yep. Absolutely. We know Arthur Smith loves him some Jonnu Smith. He just had to have him.
Yep. Yeah. But the thing is, to be fair though, the Jets have always struggled covering tight ends and running backs too. So Jonnu Smith and Freiermuth, dude, it's like that's a lot of pressure on a Jet defense right there.
Yeah. True, and that's why you got 2 good linebackers in Jamie Sherwood and Quincy Williams to cover it up. Yep. Obviously, you'll have to have a safety on one of those tight ends, but having one of those linebackers, whether it's Quincy or Jamie and Sherwood, to be in coverage is going to be so much help for this defense, especially in the middle.
And one of the matchups I'm really looking forward to from just getting pressure standpoint, Broderick Jones versus Will McDonald.
Yes.
Jones struggled the first couple years at right tackle. He's almost unplayable. He's switched this year to left tackle. Supposedly he's been better this camp at left tackle, but I still like that matchup a lot for Will McDonald. So, we talk about probably going to see a lot of Clemens, a little bit of Tyler Barron, McGregor, we'll see. But on that left side, Will McDonald, big year, but also big opportunity for him to have a big game.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. So, Luca, you're feeling now it's September 1st, first game on Sunday. What's your unofficial prediction?
Unofficial prediction. Just because I have bragging rights to my Steelers fan best friend, I think the Jets. I'm gonna say 2017 victory. I'm going to go on a positive note.
There you go. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Talk to you guys later.
Later, dude.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I think a 2017 W.
Bro, I want to win this game so bad. I want to beat Rodgers up so bad. Knock him out of the game. Don't even care. Like, I just want to see him looking like the same sulking and miserable experience we had with him last year, with his shoulders slumped down, towel over his head on the sideline. I want that in the Steel uniform.
I want to see first play of the game, then blitz him. He gets pressure, whatever, incomplete, sack, whatever. And I already want to see him like signaling over to Arthur Smith, like blaming it on him. Yeah. Because we know that's going to happen. Them two are going to butt heads, just like what happened here.
And then him getting mad at DK Metcalf for running the wrong route or something.
Yeah. I was just thinking with Glenn and just winning week 1. This is a team that's won, right, 2, if I think it correctly, 2 week 1 games since bowls, right? Because they won Darnold in Detroit in 2018. Yep. They didn't win either the year with Gaze, and then it was the Buffalo with Sal because they lost, Tennessee, Baltimore, and last year. So, yeah, it's just another fact.
Glorious time to be a Jet fan these days. Yeah. So, Bubs, do you want to have chaos or do you want to have fire and passion?
Let's go with passion. Fire and passion.
Right. What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing? Long time no see.
How you been, man?
How's it going?
I've been okay. I'm just hopeful for the new season because the years under Rodgers was hectic. than you could
miserable.
ever think possibly. You know, I like the fact that we finally got a culture in the building, even though our owner is not of the football mind. I saw the competitiveness in some of the preseason games. I hope the best for Justin Fields because we should have drafted him probably over Zach Wilson. I like to see what Garrett Wilson does, even though that's going to be a tough matchup Sunday against Jalen Ramsey. Ooh, man.
Jalen Ramsey lost a step, though. He's playing the slot, too.
Garrett's beat him a lot, and he has played a lot in the slot.
Well, yeah, I know, but, you know, Pittsburgh going to play tough always. Like
I'm more concerned about their pass rush getting to Justin Fields, if anything.
Yeah, and Justin has to prove that he can throw. Yeah, that's a good question, too, blocking TJ. And
he's got to be able to throw vertically. You can dink and dunk, but they're gonna try to take away that. Like, can he beat them downfield? You know, hit Aaron Smith deep, hit Josh Brown's downfield more than 5 or 8 yards, stretch the field, back up that defense. Then he could run the ball more. And then his decision making with the RPOs too. Like, he's got to be a very good game manager. Be able and the one thing that Lucas said that I agree with, they've got to be aggressive, man. The last thing I want to see is some conservative ass game plan where it's run, like 3 runs and a punt, like stuff like that. Run, 3rd and long punt. Like, change it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's like be different. Don't be scared to lose. And Glenn's spoken about Bubs. He's talking about like we're here to win games. We want to compete. Don't say all this great stuff and then come out and be the complete opposite like Saleh did and be timid, be scared, complacent. Don't do that.
I agree.
Indeed.
So what's your level of confidence, man? Are you confident for Sunday?
I really want, and I feel like Pittsburgh is like, there's a lot of games on the schedule that's winnable games. Like, we could be a fringe playoff team. It's just what scares me a lot of the times is, that rust sometimes, and then certain players you will put them. Yeah, I'm more nervous than confident, really, but I just want to see like what they're going to come out as. Are you going to be a competitive team that can win 7 to 10 games? Because it ain't like, we already know who's at the top of the AFC. It's just, we could fight for a playoff spot because Indianapolis going through its troubles. I think Jacksonville, we don't know what they're going to look like and stuff like that.
The AFC West is loaded. AFC West
probably
is tough,
could be
man.
3 coming out of there.
But that's really the only division that that could say like all the teams could possibly make it.
Look at the North. Even the North's kind of loaded, man. You got Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. They're all 3 good. Browns are kind of the X.
Yeah, but when I look at Cincinnati, they didn't really upgrade their their offense is potent. Their defense, True. It's going to be interesting. I will say that.
Yeah.
So what's your score prediction?
For Sunday, I would say 2014 maybe.
Jets?
Yeah, we could score 20.
You're so torn. I can see it, dude. Like, listen, I'm with me. I hate saying like Steelers 17, Jets 10. I hate saying it, but you could tell you're torn by it. You're like, well,
I don't know. I don't want it to be a game where it's like 10-6 and we can't even barely we only scoring field goals because again, Fields can't throw the ball.
This could be an ugly game though. This could be a very low scoring game because they're very good defenses. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you.
I just don't like that. Me personally, week 1, I just want to see something.
I just want to see a win.
Yeah. If it's 2-0, I'll take it.
I'll take me too. 3-2, fine with me. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Later, dude.
Yep.
Dude, I'll take
speaking
anything, dude.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. But speaking of TJY, it's gonna be Membu. It's gonna be a big test.
Dude, they have to give him help. Especially he struggled in the preseason. So
it is fair share.
I'm not. So you guys wish this on me. You guys wish I'm a whole new I'm a whole new person here. I've gotten rid of all the negativity. I'm a much calmer, more mature person. Bub said I was.
Yeah. I'm like, the nerves I think we're feeling is we just don't want to have the conversation on Monday where it's the same old Jets. Like, they don't look prepared. They lose 23 to like 10 and they're sluggish. They get beat right out of the start. Rodgers and the offense go down and score right away. Like, that's what you're so nervous about, because everything that Glenn has spoke about, everything that they've done this summer, this offseason, should lead up, is different from what it's been the last couple of years in terms of the physicality of training camp, everything that he said, that no nonsense type. But look, they got to show it on the field. I mean, they've
got to come out prepared. You want to see them come out prepared and well coached and not lost, dazed, and confused. Come out and smack them in the mouth first before they smack you in the mouth. It's your home opener, dude. That's like change the momentum here. So now, do you want? We have to go chaos now.
Yeah, definitely. No choice.
He's not even there. Well, right now we're looking at plants. This is the V-Man experience right here. This is what we get. We have is it a plant, you think, or is it flowers?
Plant with flowers.
I don't know what is
maybe something growing on it.
Think it's a Puerto Rican plant, maybe.
Probably. So we'll hear about it.
Do you think he comes back, or we just sit here and wait?
Sure, it's some story. Now that's what you call not being prepared for week one.
This is what we don't want on Sunday, right?
Yeah, this is what we don't want. This is a no-show.
It's the darkness retreat is real. Oh, there's noise coming. He's coming back.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
Second half adjustments.
What are you sitting outside?
Yeah, I was outside having a smoke.
What are you smoking? Cigarettes? You're smoking cigars?
I come from a family of cigar rollers. What do you expect?
A family of cigar rollers? What time did you learn how old until you learn how to roll a cigar? Did we lose it?
He froze.
I don't know. Can you see me now? Sorry.
Yeah. How long have you been rolling cigars?
No, I've never rolled cigars. But my family, like when they were, in Puerto Rico, that was their business. They lived off of cigar rolling.
Did they bring that business here?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just fucking.
This is what we deal with. We had.
Let me just go inside. The signal's just so bad out there.
Go inside, man. We want to hear this.
The signal is just so bad.
All right. So did you?
Sorry. How's it been? How's your summer been?
It's been phenomenal, man. How's your summer been?
It's sorry. Don't talk in the background. It's been good. I imagine you saw. That I won a prize at Jake's watch party.
You did? What'd you win?
I'll just show you.
I mean, we got all night, Bob.
Why not?
You won that? Oh shit! Is it autographed?
You bet.
It's autographed. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was the last prize he was giving at his party. It was the preseason. It was a preseason watch party. Jets Giants. This is literally how it went down. No lie.
Okay.
So he does the raffle. He does his on his phone where it just randomly picks one of the attendees, and they win the prize. So he goes down to the last prize. The first person to win it is none other than his dad. His dad refuses to accept it. So then he raffles it again. It goes to his stepmom the second time. It's like, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And then so the third time it ends up on me. And I carted that thing from 42nd Street all the way to Hudson Yards to go to work.
You brought it to work with you?
Yeah, no, I stored it in my supervisor's security office because
So they're saying you're speaking more on this call than you did at the entire preseason party.
Probably, I wouldn't. I would not be surprised about that.
You don't like to talk in parties? You're a very quiet person in public?
Yeah.
Are you?
I can be quiet sometimes.
But if you're going to a watch party, are you like talking and stuff, sharing all your insight?
Yeah, no, I'll talk sometimes, yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. That's just the nature of things.
What are your thoughts, Bubs?
How far is
I actually want to do talk football, I'm looking forward to this because after a miserable summer watching the Yankees just constantly underachieve.
They just won 7 games in a row.
Yeah, but they're gonna shoot they're gonna just they can't beat a good team. They're just gonna melt down in the playoffs again, and then nothing will change, and they'll do the same thing all over again next year.
Okay. So what are you excited about this year? for the
Well,
Jets?
I'm looking forward to see Aaron Glenn coach. I'm looking forward to see how his philosophy translates on the field. And I'm
Okay.
looking forward to this game. And I agree with you. And I agree with the fact that first defensive snap, you got to go in there and you got to hit Rodgers. It's like as if you're like a boxer and giving a nasty left hook. You got to,
There you go.
yeah, you got to do that. And send the message first. And I'm confident in this game. Obviously, for the points you made, he's learning a new offense. But the thing you don't mention, Aaron Rodgers takes time to get on page with his playmakers. We saw that. We saw that with the Jets. 2 off seasons in, he was still struggling to get in sync with Garrett Wilson, which obviously we don't have to worry about that with Justin Fields.
Yep.
These guys played their entire college careers together, so they're in lockstep, as much in lockstep as you can possibly be.
No, listen, and he didn't play the preseason either, so he's got no game reps with his teammates. So no,
and then like we also already said, he dragged out the signing process, so he missed a lot of time to connect with them.
no, it's true. So what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna go Jets 23, Steelers 20.
And what's your level of confidence in that prediction?
I'd say about a 75%.
Oof. Bubs, he's confident.
Good.
The thing is, I think another thing that's going to play to our advantage is Tomlin is a very conservative head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He comes from that older, and obviously we don't know how Aaron Glenn is going to be as a head coach. But I think when you spend 4 seasons under the tutelage of the most aggressive head coach in football, there's no way that doesn't rub off on you.
I agree, and Parcells was aggressive too. So is Sean Payton for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, already said the receivers are on sync, and I don't think the Steelers are going to come into this game respecting the Jets.
I agree.
No, so it's like obviously Aaron Rodgers will understand it, but I don't think that translates to the rest of the roster. The rest of the roster is going to come in there with that mindset. Oh, what is this? It's the same old Jets. They couldn't win with Rodgers. What do we have to worry about? They're going to come in there with that kind of mentality. And I think Aaron Glenn knows that. And he's going to be like, hey, look, these guys aren't going to respect you. They think you're losers. Let's go out there, let's show them that you're not. Let's go out there and put a statement out there.
B-Man, thank you for calling, man. This is one of your better calls. And congratulations on your prize, man. That's an awesome prize. Oh,
yeah,
you having some rum? What are you drinking? Some rum now?
Oh yeah, I was drinking a rum. I was actually drinking it outside. This is a Bacardi 10. It's actually it's bottled It was bottled the last time the Jets actually had a winning season. Yeah, you can see it right there.
2015. What do you drink it straight? You drink it with like Coke?
I'm drinking it on the rocks.
There you go. You're sophisticated.
Well, it pairs well with a cigar.
I mean, of course. I mean, what else? I mean, this is how we live. I would expect nothing less.
It's like that. I've had that. I've had my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday! When was your birthday?
Happy birthday.
27th.
Oh, you just passed. Oh, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Look at you, man. You're still kicking ass. You're young.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I did an escape room, then I had some really nice fusion food in the city.
There you look at you living your best life, man.
Thanks. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it was like, oh my God, it was this Cuban Chinese spot. And they made this they made these like it was really good Cuban sandwich spring rolls for an appetizer. And they had this ropa vieja noodles. They were amazing. And a bit of a Szechuan soy glaze. So it had a nice tingling of heat.
Bubs likes nice tingling of heat too.
Of course.
I'm just looking forward to this season because I'm looking to break out some new pregame snacks.
Are you actually going to watch the games or just watch the highlights?
No, of course I'm going to watch the games.
Are you going to go to the game or you're going to just watch it?
Remember, I told you I had a coworker that owed me tickets from last year.
So what game are you going to go to?
I haven't talked with them yet about it, but I'll probably talk with them like sometime next week.
All right. Well, dude, have a good night, man. Happy birthday.
Thanks, and enjoy the remainder of Labor Day.
Yes, sir. Later, dude.
Yes.
I like when he calls it. You're speechless. You don't say anything. You're just at a
That
loss.
was he bounced. That was like a good second half adjustment call. Started off slow and he made the adjustments and finished strong.
That's kind of like this guy. He does the same thing. He always starts off slow, then kind of improves with the
Hey,
call.
how we doing,
Make
guys?
the adjustments.
What's up, man?
So
Oh, I'm good. Nervous. I want to win this game so bad.
So bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
I mean,
Give me your 3 keys to the game.
3 keys to the game.
Yep.
Turnovers for sure. Steelers last year, when they started, they started off well, and they always have, but they often, find themselves in like these ugly, low scoring games and get key turnovers, punch outs, strips, all that, and it basically sets their offense up with short fields. I think I don't expect their offense to go roll us. So winning the turnover battle, at least not turning it over, is going to be a big thing for us. I think, trenches, obviously. If our O-line can, bully theirs, run the ball. Tight end blocking. I was saying to Oscar in the chat, like, he was questioning the not having faith in the O-line run blocking, but I think I have far more faith in the O-line's run blocking than the tight ends. And last year, tight end run blocking was a big problem. We can never spring the big runs because containing the guys on the edge and on the outside, we never did. Our tight ends got blown up all the time.
Yep.
We really need our tight ends to lock in. Like, we're talking about Membu. I hate tight ends. Membu, he might struggle. I expect him to struggle against Watt. You're going to need to help him with chips and double teams, but he's going to struggle with Watt. But I expect him to be good in the run game, which is, a place where he can be utilized. And I expect if we can't run the ball on this team, because this Steelers defense, they are able to be run on, and they have been for quite some time. I think we need ball security for sure. Brees I think he fumbled a few times in camp on run plays
and drop passes. Yeah.
So no, you can't put the ball on the ground. That's for sure. And I think a sneaky third thing is special teams. I think special teams is going to be key.
In terms of like field position, like the punting game,
field position, kicking, all of that, punting. Hopefully we can get a good punt return. I don't know if there's no expectations for that, but we put a lot of emphasis into our special teams, as we can see from all the decisions we've made in the offseason, the pickups, a lot of our practice squad decisions. How much can Nwangwu give you as a kick returner? Can we have some nice kick returns? Because I think this year I expect there to be more kick returns because they moved the touchback to 35. So that actually matters. You can't just have shit returns all the time, and barely get out to the 25, the 30, and then you're looking at further to go than the other team. Can we make sure that we're pinning them back on our plays and stuff? I think for a team where you're looking at and you think, well, this is not going to be a high flying offense, right? Those small margins matter even more for a team like us. And I think I was talking to someone online today on Twitter, and I was saying, I think we have, if the defense is good and the run game can do their job, most of our games will come down to, I think, like 3 or 4 main things. And those things are discipline, execution, and coaching, in-game coaching. And
adjustments.
Then, sprinkle in a bit of luck. Because we've had, bad time management. Can you make the right decisions? Do you know when to dial up a play, when to be conservative? When defensively, I felt like we had terrible timing on a lot of our defensive calls. We never knew when to be aggressive, when to stop things, when to sit back. I hope on the defensive side, looking at this game,
this is one long fucking answer, isn't it, Bubs? I think this is like a lecture right now. Bubs, I think Bubs started nodding off. I saw him kind of going. I saw him starting to twitch a little bit.
I'm applying for like the third co-host spot right now. PT hasn't been here, so I'm just, getting all my thoughts.
Just give us 3 points. Give us a game summary.
Oh well, yeah, no. Well, I just wanted to get onto the offense though, because.
So for me, it's like for Justin Fields, like this is a statement game for the Jets in so many different ways. But for Fields, it's like they were don't be conservative, man. Let this kid play. Let him throw it. Let him run. Because if you start being conservative and holding him back, I think problems are going to happen. Would you agree with that? I mean, what do you think, Bubs? I mean, I don't want to see this like just this vanilla, boring, bland stuff where the Steelers can just sit back and tee off on everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to see them take some chances. And look, that's the whole part of the evaluation too with Fields is you don't want to completely handcuff him all year. You want to see what he is or isn't. Can he take the Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold jump? And if he's going to do that, he's going to have opportunities. He's going to have to be able to take chances. He's going to have to be put 100%. In positions to take chances. So they're still going to, run the ball a lot. But yeah, when they pass it, have some vertical threats, right? Have Arian Smith out there in a vertical package and try and get a big chunk play. Heck, incomplete, maybe force a pass interference. And, you talk about the little margins, the penalties. I think that also kind of pops up. Jets perspective, they've got to be disciplined. But yeah, from the Fields thing, all year you want to see what he is. That's the whole point of this season.
Is downfield, dude. Get it stretch the field a little bit.
Exactly.
I like to see him stretch the field and not just stretch the field on the outsides, but in the middle, like where we talked about the Steelers last year. They basically had him play really conservative, a lot of short routes. And when they did go downfield, it was Pickens to the sideline. So you really, you're just throwing it out of bounds or you're throwing it to Pickens. And I mean, while that can help you, be a conservative team and just survive till Russell Wilson gets back, we're not waiting till Russell Wilson gets back. Justin Fields is our quarterback this year. So I'd let, even if he decides on plays to, take the check down, not go downfield, I'd like us to see the option to be there. And you want to keep the defense honest in that because you're actually running those routes, because you're actually having those plays.
How they use Freiermuth, use those seam routes down the middle. Like that could be Mason Taylor. I mean, I don't think Rucker would catch the ball, but that's kind of, or you maybe Stone Smart. But take those shots, man. Like you can't have that 8-yard window. That's where your offense is. You've got to go vertical with these guys.
You
get them off the line of
scrimmage.
Woods? Not already, you think?
If the other guys can't block, maybe.
But who do you think has a bigger game, Braylon Allen or Breece Hall?
Probably Braylon, I think.
What do you think, Bubs?
I think in terms of just the way that you can run and attack them, I think they're kind of vulnerable up the middle. I mentioned in the chat I want to see a lot of read option like the Ravens game, and in that game, they always crashed on Henry. And then Lamar was just breaking off runs every time.
Yep.
Then the two times they didn't crash on Henry, he straight took him to the house, and that's right up the middle, up the gut. I think Braylon has a chance to have some big runs. I still expect things from Breece. I just don't know I think Breece is going to be a real weapon in the passing game, and maybe he gets a lot of checkdowns in this game. But I think we might see a little less willingness to let him, run more protracted routes, because you're just afraid of TJ Watt wrecking the game for you.
Okay, here's an interesting question. I'll start with you, Bubs. How long is Fields? This is a typical Jet fan question. This is such a Jet fan question. How long is Fields' leash before we clamor for Tyrod? Bubs, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, if he struggles honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first half on Sunday. If he's struggling, there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, force Tyrod. But realistically, if they're 0-2 going into Tampa and the offense looks terrible, like they score 17 points combined in the first two games, there's going to be people that are going to want Tyrod. I think it's 2 weeks in.
What do you think? What do you think, Javed? I'll tell you what. I'll be honest, dude. I'll give him 3 games.
I kind of just don't care. I don't know. Wait. Let me.
That's an Afram answer.
Let me explain what I mean by that. It's just like one. I don't think Tyrod's really doing much for us in terms of.
That's an Afram answer. I'm here to support my team and hope for all good things.
Honestly, when it comes to Fields, it's for me. My approach to Fields is show me you can be the guy, or get me a great quarterback next year in the draft.
You don't want to tank the season, though.
No, I'm not taking the season. But if he's horrendous, you're gonna have to make a move. I'm just not really worried about that right now. Like that's obviously that's a chance that he's gonna be just god awful. I'd be kind of surprised by that, because I think they'd be trying to use him like running, so that even if he's not great as a passer, that his floor as a rushing quarterback is really only behind maybe Lamar. If you actually have him run a ton, like Lamar is really the only one who's comparable as a rushing quarterback. So I think he has such a floor that Tyrod doesn't have, even though Tyrod's a better passer. And I'm not too worried about that.
Tyrod's not even healthy right now.
No, and he's not going to stay healthy.
He
You're
hasn't
going to bench
played in the
Fields, and then
preseason.
Fields will be back 2 games later, or you're going to say, and then people are going to be like, Brady Cook, is it your turn? No. I think I'd rather see them, as long as he's not awful, like horrible, I'd rather just see them have conviction in the decision they made, ride it out, because I think it's one thing if you go 2 games into the season and then you're talking about benching Fields and they actually do it. That to me shows that the coaching staff is just
it's tough because it depends on how bad he's playing. If he's the lone factor for losing games, like he's just throwing picks and looks like that, I don't think he's going to do that though. I think they're going to, the way Aaron goes, he'll probably support him for a long period of time. He'll probably look 6 to 8 games before they make a move. But Jeff, you know me, dude. I'll be 3 games and I'll be like, I'm 0-3, make changes, fire people. I don't care. So what's your final prediction, man?
Oh, I wanted to talk about the defense first.
Oh, Chris, it's your show. Go ahead, dude.
I was going to say, I really would be kind of disappointed if the Steelers even score like 20 on us. Rodgers, his last, was it like 3 years or so starts to open the season has been bad. But away blowout, like 38-3, his second to last year in Green Bay. His next year, they scored, like 7 points in a blowout. Obviously Buffalo game, and then last year away at San Francisco, we're getting blown out 30-something to 13 before Tyrod comes in and throws a touchdown at the end. Yeah. So that's 3 straight away starts in a season, limited preseason time, all blowouts, offense doing nothing. If we come out and he lights us up without any reps, they only have 1 wide receiver, really. I'm sorry, I don't believe in Calvin Austin, and he has tight ends. If he's tearing us up, there's a big problem. And for them to come out, they don't have a great line. If they were to run all over us, I need to see some tackling. If we get ran all over by Jalen Warren and was it Caleb Johnson? Is that the running rookie?
Yeah.
If we get ran all over by them, they're not even going to run a ton. I feel like as long as we stop the run in the first quarter, Rodgers is just going to start passing the rest of the game.
Yep.
And I think the blueprint to holding them down is there, because for the last few years, he's not started well. I don't think the Steelers have really had prolific offenses. It's an Arthur Smith offense. I find it kind of funny because Arthur Smith uses tight ends a lot, but Rodgers doesn't really. So I wonder where that's going to go. It's just going to be a lot of DK. Can we smother that? Can Sauce? What's Sauce going to do? Yep. I'd love to see a lot of blitzes. I put him in pressure. Last year he struggled under pressure. I mean, he carved up zones, but under pressure he struggled. We can give a lot of exotic looks because they're not going to use a ton of motion. He's going to want to see everything in front of him, and you can just set up your exotic look the exact way you want to. So I'd like to see Wilkes and Glenn dial it up and us to really cause some havoc,
All right. So with that being said, now what's your score prediction?
Score prediction. Do you want me to be like super realistic, or can I be fun?
No, we want you to lie to us, dude. We just lie to us because we're here for lies.
It's not really a lie. It's just I think
tell us what you think. This is another Afram thing. You're like, oh well, it's like it could be 17-17 for all I know.
No, I wouldn't say something like that.
So what do you think? Just give us a fucking score.
I think the Jets win. I think the Jets win. I think the Jets have to win. I think we win by 2 or 3 scores.
Bubs, how do you say what's the score in Spanish?
All right. Here, I'll give you 24-10. That's 2 scores. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Got you.
So I keep getting asked this. My answer is probably be no. I don't think so. I haven't talked to him in 2 months, so I probably say the answer is going to be no. So in case you guys keep asking, I'll just keep telling you I don't think so. So now we will go to Afram.
17-10. Good night.
So now you are
that's being ready.
You are. You know what I am? I'm a sitting duck because you're making fun of me while I'm waiting in the green room over here. Just picking shots for no reason. I come on a nice, beautiful day and this and that. I've said nothing. I've been always positive, and that's an Afram answer.
But it isn't Afram. Bubs, be honest. We ask him a basic question, and he can't say anything negative. He's like, well, the sun could come out tomorrow. I didn't ask about tomorrow. I'm asking about today.
What did you say when you started this chat? I'm going to say as positive as possible.
No, they're talking about the game day.
Yes, you did. I'm keeping it involved. I'm saying positive. You
That's
know, this
game
and
day.
that.
I'm not
But,
gonna nobody. I won't say anybody should be fired on Sunday. I'm not gonna want Justin Fields benched on Sunday. I'm completely matured for that.
how are you, Bubs?
Doing good. How are you?
Only sensible person to talk to.
That's just ridiculous.
Okay.
But you're in a 14-3 campaign again for this year?
13-4, I said.
Oh, Jesus
Oh.
Christ. So what are your thoughts on the roster, man? Because the composition with the wide receivers and tight ends, to me, it's just odd. I know they can make changes on Sunday, but keeping Rucker didn't really make any sense to me. Only 5 receivers is kind of strange. I know the guys are on the practice squad, but Tyler Johnson's on the practice squad. It just seems kind of weird how they're handling this. Are you on the same boat or no?
Yeah, but I wonder if they were looking for someone, and the asking price is way too high, and they couldn't afford to do that, considering they need as many picks as they need for next year. Sometimes they know the situation we're in, these other teams, and they're going to try to hoodwink us for as much as possible. You just can't give it up. You can't give up all those assets. I mean, the deals he made with the Vikings and the Browns was basically pick swaps, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we got we went lower, but we got some quality guys. But and the wide receiver end was I keep seeing reports that Jacoby Myers is still in play.
Yep.
But but I'm hearing also it's going to cost you a 2. You want to give up a 2 for him?
No.
Probably they wouldn't.
That's the thing. Everyone's saying it's going to be at least it's going to be a 2. And then he's going to want a contract. And what are you going to pay him? 23 to 25, I think they were saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, in terms of money, they have the cap space to do it, and he's definitely an upgrade
now,
for the
but
team.
they also got to pay guys next year too. They got to worry about, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it would have a significant impact on this season, man. When you upgrade from Josh Reynolds to him, it's a nice upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, if you sign him now for 23, 25, you can't sign for 25 because you're only going to have $900,000 left.
Yeah, but you can space it out. You're the finance guy. You can be creative with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay, but still, that's a lot of it's going to take at least half of what you have available now, right? At least.
So what are your 3 keys to the game on Sunday? Because I'm telling you right now, dude, I won't give my prediction yet, but I like the matchup for a variety of reasons, but I have pretty high expectations for this team, though.
Ball control,
mm-hmm.
Time of possession,
that's big,
and constant pressure. But you got to also be careful because if they don't, they're not successful with that pressure, they can be beat very easily on the deep ball, because he can still fling it, Yeah. But I foresee him, if you give him a lot of pressure, he's going to be changing plays on the line when he sees something, and he's going to. I'm hoping it's the same thing that happened to us: delay a game or use a timeout.
Yeah,
But
I just want to see the Jets be very aggressive against them too. Don't sit back in zones, soft zones. If you're not getting pressure from your line, like Bub said earlier, like blitz, like go out like you want to win this game. Don't be scared to lose. Go out and just try to smack him in the mouth, rattle him, hit him.
And they got to keep him off. They got to throw it to many people, whoever it is. Keep them off balance. Not expect to give it to one guy all the time or one guy down the field. Throw it any which way. Just get the 10 yards. Just keep the ball in your possession. It'll tire them out, and they won't expect anything. You hit a tight end here. You hit Brees on the side. You could hit the slot with Garrett. You can go deep, like you guys said, to Arian. You just got to keep that ball all over the place, even if it's a short yard. Who are you going to cover if he's able to hit short yards at different players? Then you're confusing them at that point.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. They got to be creative. We haven't seen much on these preseason games, and it's we're all going to hope for the best that this guy can scheme these guys open and he makes the play. And you give the kid confidence. Say throw it down the field. Give him some confidence. We trust you. And if you see an opening, take it, run it.
What do you think, Bubs?
Yeah, I totally agree with your time of possession point. That's something the Jets, they got dominated oftentimes last year. I just pulled it up quickly here. Last year against the Niners in the opener, 38 minutes, 40 seconds for San Fran. Jets had the ball for 21 minutes. You can't have that. You can't have them where they're grinding you down these long 11, 12 play drives. Number one, it wears you down as a defense. But number two, it's just going to take the crowd out of it. Any sense of a crowd you have if Pittsburgh goes down there early on and has a long 4 or 5 play, 6-minute drive, Jets don't get the ball until the 10 or 9-minute mark. Like, it's just going to deflate the stadium, deflate the energy.
Especially when you're worried about their depth on defense as well, where they're not
100%.
as deep as we thought they're going to be.
Yeah, and from the Jets' perspective, you want to establish the run. We talked about also taking some chances, but establishing the run, that ideally comes with being able to dominate time of possession as well and wear Pittsburgh down as opposed to you being worn down. So I think the time of possession is a great point. That's something that's
probably the best point he's made in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I made 4 points. He only agreed on 1 so far. I mean, where's the love there, Bubs?
Yeah, Bubs is on your side. I'm not on your side.
I know you're not. Yeah, you just like to make fun of people when they're not on the in front of you.
You're in front of me right now. I'm making fun.
Well, now, yeah, but you didn't pick on me like you did when you had Javid on the call. I don't know.
Just to answer this question, I have not talked to him in a couple months, man. So I would say probably not going to get much out of him.
You should put a banner. PT works late. End of story.
He's working a lot. I haven't talked to him. He's not making any videos. So Sunday, don't expect to see him.
You haven't seen Tyrone in a long time.
Nope.
That's it.
But we'll be streaming unless I get tickets, which I don't have tickets yet. Streaming on Sunday, so don't worry about that. And probably doing we're going to do a post game show this year.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do the Jet game, do the press conference, give it about a half hour, and then just take calls for like an hour and say people take calls after the game, like a post game show.
It should be good. Hopefully it's a win, and we have a lot of things good to talk about.
Post game show will be interesting. The beer will kick in by then, so then I'll be really tuned up for like these calls and get the real.
Whether it's good or bad, you'll be tuned up.
So what's your level of confidence, Afram?
I'm going to say 80%.
To winning?
Yeah.
Oof. Bubs, are you shocked by this?
No, I expect the optimism. 13-4, right? So I expect the optimism.
I just don't think they've shown anything to anybody what they want to do. So
who's got more pressure, Justin Fields or Aaron Glenn?
Glenn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
He's the leader. Everything's based on what he wants to do.
What do you think, Bubs?
Yeah, I would say in terms of just this game, Glenn, but in terms of the season, Fields, because if Fields struggles, he's out. Glenn's not going to be one and done.
Yep.
But for Fields, it could be one and done. But for this game, it's Glenn. Yeah, you want to start.
It also reflects on Glenn too.
Yeah, but you got to figure. I mean, Fields going against his old team. The Jets moved on from Rodgers and brought in Fields. Fields doesn't play well. Like, man, that's interesting.
I guess, yeah. And then too, I mean, how much of it was true? But you do have the Glenn Rodgers storyline where the meeting lasted 15 seconds. That's from Rodgers though. So, but clearly it didn't go well. I don't know if it was.
Didn't go well with his previous GM either, and how well did he do when he's with the Jets? All right,
that's true.
It's going to be interesting, very interesting. So 80% chance. Well, Afram, I just want to say thank you for all your knowledge and insight, your keys to the game. It was very important. Will you be calling in for the post game show on Sunday?
Sure, why not?
What time should I do it at? You think the Jets say the Jets game ends at like 4:30? Do like a 5 o'clock call in show?
Well, how soon is the press conference?
It's usually like 5 minutes after the game. It's pretty quick after it.
Yeah. That'll last about 10, 15 minutes at best. So, 5:15.
That'd be fun. I've never done that before. It's kind of fun to do the instant reaction.
Yeah.
Then when you're really either all fired up or all pissed off. Because like the Monday night, it's always you have a day to digest, kind of calm down.
Sleep on it.
Right after, it's like you're just fully vested in it.
Well, you can also just stay on and then do the presser live and then take the calls right after.
That's a lot, man. I need to eat. You meant to starve myself?
Well, put the camera on off, eat something while the presser goes on.
What time do you think, Bubs? What time do you think is a smart idea?
1 o'clock. It ends 4:15.
Yeah.
Presser will be done by 4:40. I'd say like 5:30, 5:20ish.
Can eat and then just get all revved back up and celebrate a big victory.
Yeah, I mean, the SNY post game show is usually right after the press conference, right? Yeah. Or maybe they listen live. So
they start first, and then they
listen.
They do the press not on real time. They do it afterwards.
And then they usually get the players in too.
Yeah,
some of the sound. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, cool. Well, Ephraim, good talking to you, man.
Same here.
Have a good night.
You as well. Take care, Bubs.
Have a good one.
I was nice to him. Was I nice to him?
Yeah, it was a good call. I'll say one more thing just about just matchup in general is, we talk about Rodgers and these new receivers, but it's also, Rodgers had the slow start with Hackett in an offense that he was familiar with. Something else to note, Arthur Smith's never worked with him before, new offense, so they did no preseason, so it's something else to throw in there.
This will be the first home opener I've missed in like 29 years, but I contacted the Jets. They wanted $275 a ticket, and I'm like, I can't do that. I just don't want to do that. It's crazy. Because I sit lower level. I don't like sitting upstairs. I like sitting lower level.
So you're low. So have you? Oh, okay. So you're like the 100s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy to me. So I'm like, well, I tried talking to them. They're like, that's what they told me. It's all right. Oh well. So now, dude, I have a question for you. Do you call into WFAN?
No.
I could have swore it was today's what, Monday?
I have never called it. I've never called into a talk radio station at all.
I could have swore it was a Friday. The caller sounded exactly like you and had like a story, like when you give stories. I could have swore it was you, man.
No, it wasn't. I don't call in. I've never called into any of those shows.
That's crazy.
Interesting game. And to start it off, I think it's going to be a fairly low scoring game. I'm guessing like 21-17, 20-17, something like that, Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out on a limb with that because I do have a lot of questions and I do have a bit of queasiness. Part of the problem is we've got nothing to go on. We really, in preseason and practice, we saw some good things like the Green Bay game and stuff, but the game plan was all vanilla. The offense was a high school offense. So we really don't know. That's what makes it really bad because we have no track record with any of this.
Yep.
I think that for me, watching the game, what's going to kill me if it happens, obviously, if it's a blowout, forget it. And everything's just awful. We're going to be sitting there going crazy. But I don't think that's going to, I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I don't think that's likely. But what worries me is if they come out, you hit the nail on the head when you said, if they come out and they're not aggressive, if they're playing a cover 3 zone defense, if they're not blitzing, they're not going after Rodgers, they're playing very conservatively on the offense. If we see we used to call the Frank Gore offense, Frank Gore kick, that kind of crap. If we see that, if they come out looking like zombies, that's going to trigger all kinds of things because that's exactly opposite to what Glenn has been saying. We're going to come out aggressive. We're going to be resilient. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. And if they're not, if they look like the friggin' Giants game, it's going to start throwing things at the TV set. Again, on offense, are they going to be anywhere creative? One of the things is Pittsburgh knows Fields pretty well. He was there. The same staff was there. They know his tendencies. They know his weaknesses, even more so than just looking at game film. They know him, right?
That's true.
You've got to come in there and you've got to surprise him a bit. And one of the things I want to see too, multi-back sets.
Yes.
The Jets never did it under right. It was ridiculous. Multi-back sets. Also, stop using the fucking shotgun every play. Go under center. If you're going to hand off, if you've got a third down situation and you're under center, you can confuse the shit out of them because you do a quick drop. You can do a play action. You can do a short pass. You can do a lot of things and fool the crap out of the defense. If you keep doing that shotgun stuff, they're going to sit back and say, yeah, it's 3rd and long and it's a shotgun. You're throwing it. You're not varying it at all. I want to see creativity out there. And the biggest one is if things are not working, I want to see adjustments.
Yes.
I want to, because one of the things I've got a concern with Glenn, it was funny. This did come out of talk radio. One of the hosts was railing on Glenn after one of his press conferences because he was being a dick to the reporter, which I could really care less because he's basically letting the reporters know, I'm not Salah, I'm not bending over, I'm not listening to what you clowns say, and that's fine. But he was really rude and abrupt. But one of the things that comes off is a touch of arrogance, and that worries me because when you're arrogant, you don't make adjustments. Now, again, I am not saying Glenn's like that. I really don't know. We don't know what he's going to be like in a game situation. Preseason didn't mean jack shit.
But you're making really good points, like especially like you're looking at this offensive line, which should be strong, but Membu could struggle. If Membu struggles against Watt, like Bubs talked about it there, are they going to give him help? Are they going to be arrogant and put it back behind him? All kinds of different ways you can do it. If Justin Fields is struggling, how do they handle that? Like there's a lot of things, but the biggest frustration I have with the Jets last year is if they made adjustments, they waited to the half. Didn't happen in the first half. It happened in the third quarter, and you've already lost. Then you're already down 14, 17 points at that point.
And with this team, that's deadly, because if you're really going with a run first offense, if you're truly doing that, run first offenses can't come from behind. I'm a big Army fan. Army runs they run a basically play action option. They're an option offense because they don't have quarterbacks that can throw pretty well. If they get ahead, they do really great. They've got a great defense, but man, if they get behind, they're finished. And that's going to be a problem with this team. It's not going to be a team that's going to put up. You're not going to get into a shootout with this team.
I wonder about that, though. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I wonder about that. I think they can throw the ball. They have targets. I mean, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Mason Taylor. Maybe you can stretch the ball, Aaron Smith, Josh Reynolds. Like, I think they're going to try to throw it. But I mean, I'm hoping.
Well, that comes back to the point. Are they going to be aggressive?
They got to be aggressive.
Or are they going to try? And are they going to play scared and say, "I don't want to throw downfield because the ball is going to get picked off"?
That would piss me off to no end.
Because if you get scared, and the thing is, right now, Glenn really does. It is a statement game for Glenn. I'm sorry, people can tell me it's not. It is. I'm tired of hearing it's week one. That's horseshit. Because you know what? He can Rodgers, not only, which pissed off half the Jets fan base, pissed off a lot of people, right? Yeah. He did it in a really abrupt way, which I thoroughly appreciated. It couldn't have made me more happy if I was doing it myself and kicked him out the door, kicked him in the butt out the door. Because quite honestly, he deserved it, in my opinion. Yep. I had enough of him. But now you've done that. Are you going to play scared? Are you going to send a message to him and say, you know what? There's a reason we got rid of you. I'm going to show you why.
But you're also sending a message to Justin Fields, too. If you bring him in and say, we want you to showcase your talent and let you flourish, and you don't give him a chance to throw the ball downfield, you don't believe him then. But players realize that, too. Like, if you, the receivers know, oh, man, we can't stretch the field. We're not you're not letting the kid throw the ball. They said, we're going to let him be himself. Well, then that's going to be down the field.
Well, there's one hope with the way they ran the offense in the preseason. Right now, obviously, they're not going to show anything. He's very close to the vest. They're not going to show anything. One of the ways you can always win in a game like this, one of the methods, is you do something totally friggin' unexpected. So the Pittsburgh's expecting him to run the ball. They're expecting Fields to run every time he gets the ball. They're going to whatever. You come out throwing, you can freak out their defense.
Exactly.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. First play from scrimmage, try to throw the damn thing. Get a chance, throw it downfield. You can't play scared. And if you're going to try to throw them off balance, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, the Jets receiving core is not the greatest.
But they can catch the ball, though. But that's the whole thing is they have, we've discounted the weapons. I talked to Bubs about this before. But they have weapons, though. And to me, Bubs, I come out throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson. I come out throwing the ball to Mason Taylor. And then get them off balance because they're going to stack the box and say, Justin Fields beat us. So you be prepared for it. And that's on an anxious training Glenn to say, we know what you're going to do. We're going to out-scheme you. And that's something the Jets have to do. And get Fields. Get Fields. I mean, Bubs, when you do that, one of the keys to early start of this game is get Fields comfortable.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I really like the Garrett Ramsey matchup. I mean, you look at the numbers, Garrett's dominated in the last couple of years. Mason Taylor is a guy from just the zone perspective, does a good job of finding pockets in his zone, being a safety blanket, had very sure hands in college. So talk about couple confidence type of throws early on to get him going, couple completions. Mason Taylor could be that. And Breece as well. Those are your top three guys. And Reynolds essentially is your number 4. That's the way I view it. We saw Breece, they utilize him a lot on a couple of drag routes in camp. You'll see some of that on Sunday as well. So yeah, I mean, there's pieces there to, obviously have success from a pass game perspective. And
you can, there's a lot of things you can do. You can do things like this is again where the double back set comes in, right? You got a 2-back sit. You're going to put the defense off guard. If they cram the box, if they stuff the box on you, you send one of the receivers out into the flats because you're going to have an open hole right behind them. If they're stacking the box, go out and throw there. It's using intelligence. And one of the things I want to see in this game too is if the offensive game plan is not working, right? So you go into your scripted plays.
Yep.
You're not working. And then when they keep going, it looks like the same thing. Does Glenn get on Engstrand and start saying, okay, what the hell are you doing?
Yep.
Or is it, because again, Glenn has a lot of things going against him. This team has PTSD up to the wazoo. We've had all these defensive coordinators who said basically offense doesn't matter. If you have a great defense, you can just have a meh offense. We had Bowles, we had all these guys, even Rex to a large extent.
I think Glenn's different than that, though. I think he's a woman.
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm being very careful because we don't know.
Yeah.
Because he does have a lot of broad experience and that helps. But if it looks like we've got, you know, a throwback to the NFL of the 1950s, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and
Yeah, but
that's their
see,
idea of offense, it's going to turn people really fast.
the one thing that I'm hoping, and this is something that goes back to the Parcells days, is that Glenn has a headset on and he hears all the play calls coming in, coming out, and he's up to speed on what the play calls are, what the scheme is, everything else. That if he hears something he doesn't like, he has the power to overpower, like veto it, overpower it. Like, listen, no, we ain't running the ball here, pass the ball here, like change it. Like as a play comes in, like we're not running the ball 3 times in a row, it's not going to work. Like I'm hoping he has the ability to do that and not stand pat with his arms crossed, like, well, it didn't work. Like, be aggressive, dude. Change things up.
The thing with Glenn is he knows the game, and having been a defensive back, he also understands offenses.
Yep.
You have a different view when you're a defensive back like that because of where you're sitting and stuff. You see a lot that other players don't. So hopefully, with that background, everything else he's had, I think that he's got the ability to do it if he doesn't get scared. Yeah, but then the other thing is the sloppy play. I don't want to see excuses coming out. They come out looking like zombies and hearing it's week 1. You know what? In training camp, he had them going very aggressive. So they've got no excuse. It's not like they're zombies because in training camp they were taking it easy. He wasn't.
Well, this was like the return of the passion and pride and like having like that integrity now. Like you're bringing it all back to the building. Now you got to show it. You've talked about it. Now you got to bring it to, if you don't.
Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap.
Especially
It's got to be on the field. And I think that, looking at the way they play and everything else, again, that first Green Bay game, it looked great. We saw something there. We saw a very big difference than we've ever seen.
Yep.
And then we saw meds and meds after that. It's got to be out there. It's got to be there from the first snap. And they've got to play from the first opening whistle to the closing whistle. If they don't, then it's going to put a lie to it. Now, again, if the Jets lose this game, I'm not going to be upset if they lose a close game. If they lose 21-20 because something happens in the last couple and Pittsburgh manages to win, I'm not going to be that upset because they were in that game and they it happened. It's a winnable game. I mean, Pittsburgh is not, as much respect as I have for Mike Tomlin, they're not a juggernaut team. They're not Patrick Mahomes that can, and Andy Reid that can throw. They're not going to put 50 points up against you easily. It's just not built like that. They're a defensive team. They're built on structure. They're built on not ground and pound, but they're built on very conservatively. And I think that it's a way you can beat them. They've also, guys, everybody pointed out, Rodgers didn't play in preseason at all. Not surprising. Rodgers came into camp. He got to the team late. He's got brand new receivers. He doesn't have any of his safety blankets. He doesn't know Metcalf. He doesn't know anybody there. Arthur Smith and he are going to likely clash. You're right.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm with you though, dude. It's like I don't want to lose.
All the pieces are there for them to win.
If they lose a very close game and it's very, very competitive, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be like off the rails, pissed off on Monday.
And if they get
blown out, I'm gonna be fucking furious.
And like, for example, if they lose being aggressive, let's say something happens. I'm just making something up where Pittsburgh's winning 23-20. The Jets are driving. It's late in the game. There's only 30 seconds or whatever left in the game. And instead of, they've got a chance where they can kick a field goal and tie it. And Glenn decides to throw it into the end to try to score instead of kicking a field goal. And they lose because of that, because they're just not able to do it. I'll sit back and cheer because what? They tried. I don't mind if you lose because you're aggressive. It's why I love Dan Campbell. I love the fact people yell at him about it. I love the fact that he's willing to do crazy things, like go on 4th down and stuff, because you know what? It shows you're trying to win. You're not trying to tie the game and play the conservative thing.
So what's your score prediction?
I think it's going to be very, very low scoring. It could be a 21-20 Jets. It could be 20-17. It's going to be in that realm. And
you think they're winning?
I think there's a really good chance. I'd put it at about 70%. And again, that's assuming they play the way I think they can play under Glenn. They play disciplined, if they play aggressive, if they do all the things that he's talking about, if they can make adjustments, if their game plan is not working. And you're right. If the scripted plays aren't working and they come into it, then all of a sudden they start changing. If I start seeing the same damn thing time and time again, you can predict it. But Glenn is not like that. I don't think he's like that, but it's very easy to get conservative too. and get scared.
Yeah.
And I just
Bro.
hope he doesn't. It's his first time as a head coach in a real NFL game.
Thank you for calling in, man. We appreciate it. Another
You got
victory
it.
prediction. Have a good night. So, Bubs, are you surprised that every caller predicted a victory tonight?
No, I think, early season optimism, hoping that they can pull it out. It's a very winnable game. If they do, the right things. One more note I just wanted to add on to what you were saying, and I totally agree with the Glenn thing. Hopefully this is a guy that can step in from an offensive play caller perspective, defensively as well. If something's not going right, make the adjustment. That's something, obviously, going back to the Parcells days, Glenn coming from that cloth. You hope he could do that, being that legitimate CEO type of coach. Saleh never did that. He always deferred everything to the coordinators, just stood there as a statue with his arms crossed. Even on the sideline, like talking to the offensive line, talking to Fields, you'd like to see that out of him, talking to the players. We saw a little bit of it in the preseason after, guys were committing penalties. Saleh, you never saw him speak to players on the sideline.
But you saw the coaching staff as a whole was very animated too, where they were all very proactive when a mistake happened or a lot of on the sideline, attention to detail, coaching them up right now, which is really important. But that Glenn thing to me is really important, where if you hear the play call and you don't like it, you can overpower your coordinator. Like, who gives a shit? Like I'd rather him lose with his style than deferring losing. Like, I wouldn't have did that. No, go down in flames with you, dude. Like your fingerprints are all over this organization, over the roster, the scheme, everything. Have the ability to change things up on the fly if you have to, because it's about winning. It's not about feelings. So it's gonna be so interesting, man. It's just and the thing is like I'm more optimistic this week than I will be next week against the Bills. I just think the Bills are a different class, where I know the Jets always play well against them, but I think there's levels to this. You look at just I like the matchups a lot better this week than I do for next week.
Yeah, Buffalo's tough. They're a really good team.
They're stacked, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to our cleanup hitter. He didn't listen, man. He's not going to be on the channel. That's all I can tell you. He's a busy person. He's working a lot. I'm continuing to do my own thing. It is what it is. That's it. Got nothing else to say. We'll go to our cleanup hitter. I guess Belichick's losing, huh? What the hell's the score of the game?
I saw they scored the first drive, but
I think it's like 17-7 since then.
Yeah, 20-7. So they scored 20 and answered.
He says Rodgers look like vintage Rodgers against us and then look awful the rest of the year. I don't think so, dude. I think the Jets are going to beat him up. I literally think they're going to beat him up. He's going to start out slow. They're going to take advantage of it and just go after him.
Yeah, make his life miserable. Send the house.
Okay, who is your player of the game of the Jets that will help us win on September 7th? He has Michael Carter second. Player of the game.
I like Michael Carter. That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. Because he could be like the Swiss Army knife for the Jets.
Yeah, if he's good, that's so big for this defense. And a lot of what he does well, like he's excellent in man. They're going to run a lot of man. If he's healthy and back, I think Michael Carter's going to have a very big year. I don't really have any doubts. He's just hurt last year. Like if he's healthy, he should be back to 2023 form, which was the best nickel in football.
It could be the player of the game. It could be Will McDonald too, man. Just getting off the edge. I don't think it'd be Jermaine Johnson. I think on defense it'd be Will McDonald or Sauce Gardner. Sauce on DK Metcalf. In
terms of player of the game, like even X Factor too, Membu's going to be big against TJ Watt. And then offensively or defensively,
the guys covering Freiermuth and friggin' John Smith.
I'd say linebacker, especially if they're going to blitz them. Quincy and Sherwood, I think both of them have potential to have 4 or 5, possibly 5 sacks this year each potentially. So even blitzing, but coverage as well. Sherwood's ensuring coverage.
They got to give Membu help. There is no way they leave him on an island.
He's probably the X factor.
What's your official prediction for this game?
I think
or should we go to your channel for it?
No, I'll say it here. I think it's gonna be low scoring. I think the over under is like 38 or 39.5. So I think it's gonna be more towards like 30 to 32. So I'll go 17-13 Jets.
Another Jets victory prediction. Woof. Now we'll go to our cleanup hitter. What's up, man? What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing great. How you doing, man?
Good.
You ready for some football?
Yeah. I'm going 17-14 Jets.
Another Jets prediction.
Yeah.
Everybody's picking the Jets. Who do the Seahawks play?
The Niners.
Oof.
In Seattle.
That's a tough start.
In Seattle.
Are you taking the upset?
Yeah. Of course I am.
So what's your prediction for the Seahawks 49ers?
24-13. Seahawks.
Whoa. Sam Darnold doing this thing.
Because the Niners are beat up right now. They don't
That's true. They're all
have
beat up.
any risk.
Yeah.
Ayuk's still out, right? They're all beat up.
Yeah. I think Jawan Jennings should play, but that's it. And
We should get Malcolm Lazard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a fair trade.
And who do you have for the game Thursday night? You think the Cowboys get the upset?
No.
I don't think anybody does.
No.
Okay, it's gonna be horrific. Cowboys probably quit at
That's
this
gonna
point.
be a bloodbath.
Yeah. Before the season started.
Trading Micah Parsons is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
So how else are things going, Jose?
Fine. How are you guys?
Doing great, man.
Doing good.
Doing very good.
That's out your channel.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Excited for the season.
Bubs is cranking out content. He does more than I do.
I'll be going live on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
You're going live Thursday, Friday, and Sunday? You're doing more work than Bubs is doing.
Get the Brazil game too.
So come check me out. It's
Absolutely.
a nice place.
Make sure you tweet out your when you go live on like Friday, Saturday. Tweet out your stuff. I'll retweet it for you.
All right.
All right, man. I'm going to eat some
Have a
dinner.
good night.
Have a good night, man.
Love you guys.
Later, dude. I have a Bub, you're going to the game, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't go to the game, which I'm probably not, I already have my stream ready lined up for Sunday. I got a special guest to join me on Sunday, so don't worry about that. And Legend is looking at me right now. He's already tailgating, which is alarming. Which you expect that Bubs? I mean, he's completely irresponsible.
The pre-tailgate to the tailgate.
Bro, it's been ridiculous. Because you know what it was? We've had all these streams. He hasn't been on it yet, and now he's like he wants to like launch merch and like sell his things. I'm like, dude, so Sunday's he's ready for Sunday already. It's just surf sides everywhere. It's embarrassing.
Yep. Big debut for the season.
Oh, it's gonna be ridiculous. So thank you guys for joining. Again, if I don't go to game, I'll definitely be streaming on Sunday. And I'm gonna try to do a post-game show too, like probably around 5 o'clock-ish, taking calls. If you want to call in from away after the game, just recapping it and just getting live reactions instead of waiting a day to do it. So thank you guys for joining us. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll talk to you actually tomorrow night live with Ian at 7. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
J-E-T-S,